Hello everyone, Jim Revell here, the chaplain. I want to share a story with you that I heard 3 or 4 days ago, and I've been thinking a lot about it. It's the story of a man who lived around AD 250. His name was Lawrence. He lived during the time of the Roman Empire. He lived in the city of Rome, and he was in a leadership role in the church in the city of Rome. He actually was the steward of the church finances. And during those days, in the middle 3rd century, there was a renewal happening where many of the population were becoming Christians, and that created stress among the Roman government, and especially the Emperor Valerian, who saw it as a threat to the stability of his leadership. So there was a great pushback or persecution against the church during that time, and so many were imprisoned. Some unfortunately suffered execution and death, and those who owned property or had assets liquidated their assets and would give them to help those who were in need and who were experiencing this great persecution. So Valerian, who was the emperor, ordered that all of the church leadership, the bishops, the priests, the deacons, that they be rounded up and that they be executed for their faith. However, Lawrence was given an offer to be able to escape execution, and the emperor said that if you will show us where all of the treasures of the church are located, we'll set you free. So Lawrence listened to the offer, and he asked for 3 days. He said, I will spend 3 days and I'll gather all of the treasures of the church and we'll bring them together in one central location. 3 days later, Lawrence had worked hard, and he gathered the blind, the poor, the disabled, the sick, the elderly, the widows, the orphans. He brought them into one place. They were behind this door. The emperor came in. Lawrence flung the door open and said, "Here are the treasures of the church." And in that room were just a large group of people. Now this absolutely enraged Valerian, the emperor. And he felt that beheading, he wanted to execute Valerian, or execute Lawrence. And so he thought beheading was not torturous enough. So they heated a gridiron. And on 10 of August, AD 258, Lawrence was placed on this gridiron, and he died on that day. Now, that's an interesting story. And it's said, now I don't know if this, sometimes the story becomes better through the years as it's told, but it's said that Lawrence even jokingly told his executioners, "You can turn me over now because I'm done on this side." But the reason I've been thinking about this story, and the reason it made such an impression, is I think it first of all shows the value of every single human life. That the most valuable thing is each human being, each of us, who as our nation was founded, we're endowed with our Creator, with inalienable rights. In other words, something that is given to us because we're stamped and shaped by our Creator with the very image of God. So that says to me this, even as I make rounds as a chaplain, I think the greatest asset the company you serve in has is you. You're the most valuable asset that your company has, all of the kinds of experiences you had and your skill sets, etc. Also, look around you and the people you work with, your family, and then even beyond that, people you come across day by day, that every single person has massive value. But then I think of the life of Lawrence, who he believed in something that transcended his life. And I think about the power of one man to stand up. They say that when Lawrence was there, many of the Roman officials were watching as this happened, and they were so influenced by the boldness for Lawrence to stand up for what he believed in, that many of them turn to faith, turn to the Christian faith. But that gets me thinking about each of us. What are we living for? What are we investing our life in? Is it something that will live beyond our days here on the earth? Because that's very important to think about. Well, how will our legacy live on? And I think it flows into us not living self-absorbed lives, but by thinking in terms of serving, helping, blessing, honoring others. And so that's my story for the week. Thank you for listening. Hopefully things are well with you. Again, if you'd like to chat, I'm available 24/7. You can call at 877-322-CHAP, C-H-A-P, which is 2427. My extension is 5017. And I'd love to be able to chat with you. Have any questions? You'd like to celebrate anything, or just like to talk through some things? We are available for you. Thank you, and have a wonderful autumn. And hopefully we'll see you soon.